to my channel. Wow, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. I am a little bit tired, to be very honest with you, because I have just recorded a video and later on have realized I have recorded it on a slow-mo and the camera just does not record the sound in that mode. So yeah, I'm doing it again. It's a little bit later in the day. I have a little bit of a headache. But on a positive note, I have a tea with me this time. Look at that. And you know what? I want to keep it fairly brief. I'm going just to take care of my business, and I'm going to be responsible for my life and the actions I take in my life, etc. So look, basically I want to do that for myself, and you know, I invite you on a journey, because I think so often you can watch other people telling you things, but you feel they're already so much more successful than you, so it can be quite hard to relate to them. And people, they don't always show their early journey on YouTube. They show the good parts, right, many years later when they got popularity. So if you're lucky enough to catch me here at this stage, you know, just try joining me on that journey. It might be fun, trust me. Anyway, what I want to talk about, I think I need to sneeze. Okay, bless me. Sorry, this is very unfiltered. But look, I live with 2 cats and I have a cat allergy, so there you go. Hey, I have 20 minutes left to do this video. I want to time it. Sorry guys. Okay, that's better. So I want to talk about moving in silence. Do you move in silence? Should you move in silence? Well, you'll know the answer to the first question. Regarding the second, should you move in silence? I think yes. Do I move in silence now? I would like to begin. I think in the past I would reveal way too much and way too soon to people that I didn't care about even. I think it was just a way to conversate, right? You want to tell people your amazing dreams and ambitions. You want to impress them with your drive. But you know, I think sometimes it's better to be more vague and, you know, show, don't tell. I think at this early stages, when you work on something that's important to you, just keep it to yourself. Just zip your mouth. Make all the mistakes when no one is looking. And yeah, just carry on until people basically have to ask you, what is it you're doing? Or maybe they can already see the results of your hard work. And they just want to know more about it, and just wait for the moment when they go back to you and like, oh, no way you were keeping this quiet for all this time while you were working on this amazing project of yours, right? I think that can be a nice thing to get to, nice goal to have. And you know, it's really just simple as that. How do you stop yourself from oversharing? Just be mindful of the situations you are putting yourself into. For example, you know, if you go on dates, if you meet with friends, if you go network, you know, just don't be in this auditioning energy when you try to prove yourself worthy to people. You know, you can only look at your past experience and slowly realize, oh, this did not serve me at all what can I do next time. You know, just practice being more observant, practice being comfortable with your silence. That's where your charisma and your confidence will come through. I think it's good just to divert the attention from you and just put it back on the other person. You know, people love to talk about themselves, and they will love you if you listen to them talking about themselves. Let them do that. Just be mindful when people ask you about yourself. Just, you know, don't just say random stuff that later on you might think, oh, that was unnecessary. I should not have said that. So yeah, that's basically it. Move in silence and don't just hear it and do nothing and make the same mistake again. Just, you know, replay this video if you need to. Think about it. Think about your examples in the past. Just, you know, I'm sure it will take a lot of practice, but I guarantee you it's worth it. I'm still in the process of learning it myself, really, because, you know, I have a lot of ideas, and I'm sure you too, and we love to share our ideas, right? But I think when it comes to our important, well, all the goals should be, well, when it comes to our goals, and, you know, when it comes to work in progress, just keep it quiet for your own sake. And that's all I wanted to say. And, you know, you have to do it scared, you have to do it broke, you have to do it alone. Sometimes, most of the times. And that's okay. And that's how most people did it. And maybe we'll never hear all the stories and all the insights, and that's okay too, you know. Just get on your journey, and you'll come out on the other side of it. The other thing I wanted to say is, I hope the battery won't die on me this time. But okay, we have what? I'm looking at my timer. I have 15 minutes left. That's not too bad. The other thing I wanted to say, just another point, as you do move in silence, you know what's very important? It is very important you keep showing up for yourself, because, you know, no one is holding you accountable other than yourself. And yeah, perhaps sometimes it can help you telling people you're going to do something, and then you're filled with fears that, oh, now I'll be seen as a failure because I have told them I'm going to, I don't know, start a successful business, but it's not going anywhere yet, and that might not be all fun, right? So when you keep your mouth shut, you're doing your things, that's great. Don't forget to keep showing up for yourself. You'll need that, definitely. What else? I have a few notes in here. Let me take a little breather. Okay. So, you know, imagine this. Imagine you have been invited by a sweet little child to their school play. They invited you in person. They came up to you and said, hey, please come to my school play. I'll be a tree and I would love to see you there. And you just say, of course I'll come. That's amazing. And you know, I believe most people in their heart, gosh, the cats are really loud today. Oh, okay. I believe in my heart most people would love to turn up for that child, right? Maybe they have seen them practicing the lines. You know, maybe the kid is not the best performer. Maybe they're stressed about the performance. You know, all these possibilities. You just know they might not be the greatest. However, you do like them or love them, and it would mean a lot to them if you show up. So I think most of us would move mountains to be there for that child, right? And if we would not turn up, we would feel like monsters. Okay, so that's the case here. But what about the case when you have to turn up for yourself? You don't. And you don't see yourself, you don't even think about it, you might just not turn up for yourself. And then you feel shit about it, but you don't get the same reaction, right? Because there's no one else involved. But think of yourself as that little child that needs your support and that needs you showing up for them. So I think that's what I like to remind myself. I like to think that I wouldn't do it to a stranger child. I would feel horrible. Why I'm doing it to myself and think nothing of it? I'm doing myself such a disservice for not showing up for myself. And I think this time I'm really trying to do that. It's my third day filming. I have encountered some little fails, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, with recording in slow-mo with no audio recorded. And you know, it's a bit annoying. But at this moment, it's just so important for me to not give up and to do it again and again. And you know, I have a migraine now and I want to go to bed, but I also want to do it so much because I do not want to give up on myself. I don't want to fall into, I don't know, like I was even downstairs making my tea and for a moment I got lost scrolling on Instagram. And I had a moment, for a moment there was something in my head telling me, oh, you know, what if you just continue scrolling? What if you just leave it for now? It's late, you are tired, just leave it. Maybe play something on Netflix. Just keep scrolling, it doesn't matter. You know? Oh, and you have these voices too, and you have to fight them. And yeah, just don't fall into the laziness, don't fall into, you know, don't become again the audience for someone else when you could be a maker of your own reality. Yeah, I think that's something important to keep in mind. Gosh, I'm really like, I'm breathing really funny. I think I'm just so passionate about this topic that I'm hyperventilating. So yeah, think about the child, right? And make sure you don't do yourself disservice. So keep showing up for yourself. What else do we have here? Yeah, just another note, right? I've made a note, sacrifice or do hard things for yourself, not for a job or person that doesn't fulfill you. I think it's so much easier for us to do the good job when we are at work, when something is expected of us. You know, I would find myself, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a good example, but you know, you can find yourself doing the most for your employer, and then you go back home and you just completely miss the spot when it comes to your own environment, when it comes to your own future. And I get that probably they already exhaust most of our powers during these productive hours, right? But you have to still keep showing up for yourself even when you're tired. Just think about it, you are the priority, not them. Yes, be good at your job, yes, do your best, however, try to balance it so you can still give yourself the most and everything else comes later. And you know, that will require a change of mindset. Another thing, I don't know if you experienced that, but I have experienced that, and the question is why I worry that I'm doing something trivial when I put focus on myself. Have you ever experienced that? Maybe you're in a relationship and you put a lot of time towards your relationship or your job, and then you have your hobbies, you have things that you care for. Maybe it's form of exercise, maybe it's something that you just love doing, that you get lost in it, maybe it's painting, drawing, music, you know, it could be anything really, any hobby, any interest of yours. Do you sometimes feel it's trivial to do it, that maybe you should focus more on your job or more on your relationship? I think that's something especially many women can feel. I don't know about guys, however, I think there's just so many women who completely put their hobbies aside for a man, for a boyfriend, for a husband, for a family, for a career. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. I think guys, they value their hobbies much more, and that's one thing we can learn from them. They do prioritize themselves much more, and I think also just it's more of this kind of sacrifice is expected from women. But you know, all I'm telling you, what you want to do for yourself, it's at most important. And before you start collecting or getting into, you know, families, big relationships, all the things, you know, as a woman, I think you just have to first think, is this really for me? And then see, am I still able to continue with things that matter to me? Or now is the case that I'll have to give up everything for others? I don't think that's a good way to live. And you know, it can be tricky, right? Like people say motherhood, family making comes with fulfillment, and I do not doubt that, but just don't get lost in it. I'm speaking from the privileged position of I only have to worry about myself at this point when it comes to like everyday life. Yes, there is a person I also consider in my decision making. However, I'm still in this position when I can prioritize my hobbies, I can prioritize my needs and my wants. And you know what, and even though I am in this position, I still feel doing things I want to do for myself, it feels almost slightly trivial sometimes, right? For example, you know, YouTube. It's one of these things that we will celebrate people who already gotten famous from it. However, in your smaller circles, when you express to people that you want to do YouTube, you want to create content, you want your voice to be heard, people like to trivialize that endeavor. I think I said what I wanted to say, really. I don't want to go too far into the women topics yet. That's for another time, maybe. Let's see how it goes. All I want to say today is please move in silence, and as you move in silence, keep showing up for yourself. So that's just 2 points to remember. And if you struggle to keep showing up for yourself, think about that little child that you would not disappoint. You are that child. Do not disappoint yourself, please. And as you do all this, one more note, as you do all this, don't let the fear to hold you back. Don't respect the fear, I would say. Treat fear as an annoying mosquito. Hey, you know what? I think my battery is about to die. So thank you very much for watching it, and I will see you very soon.